Hey! What is up, mortals? It is me, Dylan, here with a new video for you! Welcome to part 6 of What If Izuku Had a Decay Quirk? I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, cause you're in for a treat. So, we begin. You gonna fight me, or what? Kaminari, however, was nervous about what was about to happen. Just a moment ago, he was so confident in his abilities to take down the boy whom he previously thought was just some nerd, had quickly vanished after hearing Izuku brag about their fighting ability. He saw no choice in the end, however. There was only one way to leave this room, and that was past Midoriya. Kaminari ran at Izuku, partially using his quirk to make any of his attacks shock Midoriya upon contact. Izuku saw Kaminari run at him with tiny yellow sparks of lightning emanating of his body. Izuku prepared himself for the worst, as he avoided Kaminari's first punch. Midoriya took the initiative and grabbed Kaminari's arm, which missed Izuku, and tried to throw the yellow-haired boy over his shoulder. But to Izuku's shock, he felt a surge of electricity flow into his body and zapped him. Due to this, Izuku messed up the throw halfway, leaving an opportunity for Kaminari to strike his fist into Midoriya's side, making him lose his hold of Kaminari. Once Kaminari was freed, he made the distance between himself and Izuku. Kaminari finally saw Izuku's hand-to-hand combat skill firsthand, and he no longer wanted to take the risk of getting close. Quirk active or not. Kaminari smirked, as he knew he now had the advantage. With this quirk, he could attack at a range, making any trick Midoriya had up his sleeve useless. Kaminari worried he might use too much electricity doing this, and knock himself out of the battle, so he decided to stick to smaller amounts. Although he would have a harder time hitting Midoriya with his attacks, it was better than knocking himself out of the battle instantly. Kaminari pointed his hands outwards towards Midoriya, and tried shooting condensed electricity at him. A stream of lightning shot out from Kaminari's hands towards Izuku. Midoriya took action and leapt to the right, doing his utmost best to avoid the yellow-haired boy's lightning blast. But right when he got out of the way, he saw Kaminari preparing another beam and firing it at him. Izuku kept dodging, trying to find a way to get closer to Kaminari and attack him up close. At this distance, Kaminari was essentially playing some sharpshooter game, with Midoriya being the fast-moving target. "Stop running!" Kaminari yelled in a worried tone that Izuku noticed as he dodged the next beam of lightning. The entire time, Izuku wasn't paying close attention to the lasers themselves, but when he had finally taken a proper look at them, other than just to avoid them, he noticed a crucial detail he missed before. "The lightning! It's getting smaller and weaker!" Izuku thought to himself as he smirked, now thinking he understood what was happening. Midoriya believed Kaminari was running out of energy to use the lightning. But in reality, Kaminari was just lowering the voltage because he was approaching dangerously close to his limit. Izuku tried using his knowledge to trick Kaminari to use more lightning to drain him more. Kaminari realized he was approaching his limit dangerously quickly, so he chose to use his last option. He was going to unleash a large outburst of electricity. It will leave him unable to battle any longer, but it should do the same to Midoriya, he thought. Kaminari stopped firing lightning at Izuku, and began to launch out a large blast in all directions of yellow lightning. "Indiscriminate 2,000,000 volts!" Kaminari yelled out at the top of his lungs, as the blast of lightning blasted throughout the room, even making the building shake for a second. Izuku witnessed Kaminari unleash his attack, and with a split-second reaction, he tapped his fingers on the floor, and the floor beneath him decayed, making Midoriya fall through the ground, to the floor beneath. Avoiding Kaminari's AoE attack to miss him entirely, Izuku ran up the stairs back to the room he was fighting Kaminari in, and found the yellow-haired boy lying on the ground with his thumbs up and a wide smile on his face. "Yay!" Kaminari said, sounding like a small child. Izuku couldn't help but laugh at the sight. He began giggling uncontrollably at the sight of Kaminari on the ground, celebrating what he thought was a victory. Izuku finally stopped laughing and made a mental note to remember this might happen again. based on Kaminari's quirk. Izuku then began making his way up the stairs. Now that Kaminari was taken care of, he could now properly begin the plan he made with Ashido. Ad time! This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the service Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered. And with our link, you can have a 14-day free trial. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes for free. The link is in the description below. Now back to the video. On the other side, Ashido was running up the stairs, slowly making her way to the top floor. Izuku had told her to continue running up the stairs while he fought Kaminari. She was worried for him, but didn't want to doubt his abilities. So she continued running up the stairs and followed through with their plan. Ashido finally reached the top floor of the building, where the bomb and presumably Kirishima were as well. She turned the corner and found herself in one big room with several pillars. Towards one side of the room was the bomb, and Kirishima stood nearby, ready to protect it. He hadn't spotted her yet, so she takes this opportunity to use her quirk to slide on acid, and hopefully reach and touch the bomb before he could stop her. She slid toward the bomb as fast as she could, and reached out towards the bomb. But her arm was grabbed by the spiky red-haired boy, who spotted her just in time. Phew! That was a close one. Anyways, nice to see you again, Ashido. Kirishima chuckles as his hardened hand is still held tight around Ashido's arm. Nice to see you too. If you don't mind, I gotta disarm this bomb and win. She smiles smugly at Kirishima as she shoots acid out of her hand at Kirishima's arm, making him let go of her only after throwing her away, distancing her from the bomb. Ashido immediately began running towards the bomb again, only for Kirishima to get in the way again and block her with his entire body now hardened. Ashido sprays a weak acid onto the floor to make him lose his footing and slip. Ashido, seeing her chance, ran past him to touch the bomb, but he grabbed her leg, tripping her as well. She shoots a weak acid at him to try and get him to let go, but all it accomplished was melting away the top half of his hero costume. He pulled her away and threw her behind him, away from the bomb as he got back up. Gonna have to try harder than that! Kirishima declares confidently. Ashido gets back up and decides to start slashing acid at Kirishima from a distance. It didn't seriously burn Kirishima because of his quirk, but he couldn't exactly let her continue doing this. He began running towards her, trying to get close enough to attack up close. Ashido saw Kirishima run at her, but she began using acid to quickly travel backward to stay out of his reach, while still spraying acid at him with her other hand. They kept repeating this with Kirishima getting dangerously close to Ashido, before she could get away just in time. Soon, they were both far enough away from the bomb for Ashido to begin smiling. Kirishima, clueless as to what was going on, looked at her confused. What are you smiling for? Have you found a way to win? Kirishima asked, without knowing what would come next. No! She screams at the top of her lungs to Kirishima's confusion. Unknowingly to him, the ground beneath him began to crumble, and Ashido ran away before she fell through as well. Kirishima fell down to the decayed floor, leaving Ashido to freely run and touch the bomb. What? No way, man! Guess you're stuck with me, man. Izuku joked at the way Kirishima reacted before, subduing him, although temporarily as he waited for Ashido to touch the bomb. The second All Might witnessed Ashido touch the bomb on the cameras, he yelled into the microphone. Team Heroes win! Midoriya and Ashido are the winners! Izuku and Ashido both yelled, celebrating their victory, and All Might called all 4 participants back, so he could explain to them their grade. They all walked back, except Kaminari, who was carried by Izuku, who felt bad for leaving him in this state. They met All Might outside, the testing area, and he began to explain to them their grade. Welcome, students! First things first, I want to congratulate you all for such an amazing job you all did out there. Izuku and Ashido, your use of planning and strategy were amazing, along with your combined teamwork in the end. Kirishima, your willingness to keep fighting up until the end was truly honorable as a hero. Good work, all three of you! All Might congratulates the three of them left standing. Sir? What about Kaminari? Kirishima asked curiously about the lack of celebration for the yellow-haired boy. Everyone looked over to Kaminari and witnessed him to continue quietly mutter, "Yay!" As he slowly waved his thumbs up. Kirishima realized the answer to his question there, and left it at that, as everyone rubbed the back of their heads in awkwardness. All Might left to go supervise the rest of the tests, leaving the group of four alone to talk. That was a great plan, you two. How did you guys come up with it? Kirishima asked with a sparkle in his eyes. It was all Izuku's idea. Before the test started, he pulled me to the side and explained his plan to me. Ashido explains much to Izuku's embarrassment, who was now partially blushing, as he scratched the back of his head. It wasn't all me. If you hadn't told me about Kirishima's quirk, the plan would have never worked. Before the match had started, Izuku explained this plan to Ashido. Although there was much room for error due to his basic knowledge of the other team's quirk off what he had seen during Aizawa's test. It wasn't until Ashido mentioned her knowledge of Kirishima's quirk that he chose to change up the plan to how it was now. Although Izuku would have had the best chance fighting Kirishima, he would most certainly lose. So they chose to leave him unable to protect the bomb. Izuku explained all of this to Kirishima, although in far more words, and by the end, he began muttering to himself the logistics and smaller details of the plan, like if he had decayed the wrong part of the floor, then the plan would have failed instantly. Wow! You thought of all that in the time before the match? Kirishima was surprised at the level of thought put into the plan he lost. I guess I just overthink things sometimes. It's cool, though. You're really smart, Midoriya. Upon hearing this, Izuku grew flustered and tried changing the topic, leaving the others to laugh. Eventually, the effects of Kaminari's quirk wore off, and everyone explained what happened to him. After that, the four of them continued talking until the end of everyone's tests. By the end of the day, there was a new friendship formed between the four of them. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I like to go over before the video ends. I'd firstly like to say, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend you an invitation to join our team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.